Hello dear viewers, welcome back to my channel. This is Alpha Mercy again, alright, and again today I bring you another video when it comes to the use of computers. So today we are majoring in the Microsoft Excel. So if you're there, you haven't liked, you haven't subscribed, do the needful so that even when I bring in the next video, because one subsequently leads to another, you do not have to miss because you have a notification in your inbox. So talking about the Microsoft Excel, it's important that we define even before we go into diverse discussions about it. So by definition, Microsoft Excel is a powerful spreadsheet application within the Microsoft Office suite that is usually designed for organizing, for analyzing, and visualizing data, usually in forms of rows or columns or what we term as cells. Okay, so having known what it means, let's look at how to open a Microsoft Excel. So we have two options. Number one is to come to the toolbar, tap on it. You realize that they give us different kind of apps here, pinned apps, but we do not have what we want. So we'll just come and type it out. What we need is the Excel app and it's here, and we open it. Just a minute, it's loading. Yeah, so there it is, and it gives you the blank Excel and then the others that have been worked on or others as options. So for this case, we're interested in the blank workbook. So this is where we're going to tap. You double click and it brings you to the Excel. Or the other option would be, let's assume we didn't have it. The other option would be that you come here at the search and you click on Windows R. So it brings for you open, then you type Excel and you say OK. Now you can see the Excel opening up, okay? And it still gives you the option of the blank or the ones that have been used or the other options. So we are going to use blank, and here it is. As you can see, it brings you to the Excel. Now, the Excel contains sheets, just like your books have sheets. Yes, the Excel also has sheets, but here we call it the worksheets, and they're down here. Now, this entire Excel page that you're seeing is a worksheet, okay? What do I do if I need to add another sheet? Let's assume you've done your work on sheet 1 and maybe there's another work that you wanted it to be different, I mean in a different page but within the same Excel. You put it on another sheet and there is this button, the plus button. When you tap on it, you see automatically it creates sheet 2 and you can do your work here, or you need more sheets. The more sheets you need, you just need to tap on the plus button, which is here at the end, and you will create it. And maybe for us, because we need to at least put an example, we could use sheet 1. And the collection of these worksheets at the end of the day is what makes the workbook. Okay, so having known that, we also talk about something small in regards to this Excel. Now we have what we call the rows and the columns when it comes to Excel, and we use them quite often. Now the rows are denoted by the letters, I mean that denoted by the numbers, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, up to number infinity, okay? And the columns are denoted, and this is how they go. These are the rows, and these are the columns, the straight ones, that are denoted by the alphabeticals, that is letter A up to letter Z. And the intersection of a row and a column is what forms a cell. So for example, this is the intersection between the column A and the row 1. And it is called a what? A cell. Now, they can intersect at any point. That's just an example. It can intersect here. You're seeing D5. Now, where you see it highlighted is trying to tell you the components of this cell. Okay? And it can be anywhere. And it usually has like a green rectangular kind of shape. Okay? So this that I've talked about is the foundation of Microsoft Excel. Trust me, if you've not understood it, you're going to think that Excel is very, very difficult, yet it's something which is very easy. But you need to first have the foundations right to be able to work with it, because you're going to need it in so many settings. You're a teacher, you're a lecturer, you want to do a research, a project, and etc. and etc. You're going to need it. You're a businessman, you're still going to need this. So that's not something you're going to run away from. Now, still under Excel, we have what we call the functions and the formulas. And you ask yourself, why function, why formula? Are they necessary? Yes, they are very, very necessary. Because, for example, let's assume you had a data of maybe 2 and maybe 4. Now, manually, the way that you would just do would be to add 2 plus 4 and have 6. But you notice, let's assume, for example, you have large data. You're not going to continue doing that, adding one by one by one. It's very exhausting. And secondly, if you needed to edit, maybe you come and edit maybe this data, maybe you edited it to 6. You realize that your total remains what you had typed, because that is manual work. You have to literally do it. So that's why we bring Microsoft Excel in, because it makes work easy for you. So we have two things. We have formulas and we have functions. Now, earlier on, I told you that where A and 1 intersect, it forms the cell. Now, up here, it's represented as the cell reference, okay? You have something like C1 because you have an intersection of C and 1. Now, Microsoft Excel operates on those cell references, okay? That if you're going to use these functions, you're also going to operate basing on those cell references. So, for example, a formula is user defined. So, in this very example that I'd given of 6 and 4, and if this was our total, formula, what it does is, of course, you have to put the equal sign. Otherwise, when you don't put an equal sign, you're writing a sentence. So it's equal to, we are adding the cell reference of A1 plus B1. We want to get a sum of those two. And when you do that, automatically you have your answer. So what if you're using a function? You would have, we go back here, we remove this answer. Now, functions are usually system built. They're already embedded in the system. So you just have to be knowing them. And since we are adding, it's a summation equals to sum. What are we adding? We are adding the 6, which is A1. We are adding from A1 to where? We are adding from A1 to B1. Okay? And you enter. You have 10. Previously we had 10. So what is it trying to tell you? It's trying to tell you that whether you use a function or a formula, you will still have the same value. If you have a wrong value, then you know that there is a mistake somewhere. And I told you that in the name box here, you will usually find, for example, if it's here or even here, A1, it's trying to show you where is the 6 coming from. It's coming from the column A and the row 1. And then there is what we call the formula bar, which is here. This is the formula bar. And for example, if I came and tapped here, it's going to show me equals sum A1 to B1. So what is it trying to tell me? It gives me the functions which are in that particular cell. That's why you're seeing it's equal sum A1 to B1. That's just what we did. So let's assume that maybe something changed. Maybe the B initially it was 4, maybe it became 8. Okay, let's see what will happen to our total. Automatically, it moves to 14. So that is why you will need it, and it's very, very essential when it comes to dealing with large data. It's very, very helpful, and it is user-friendly, and it is fast. So I hope that you've been able to learn something from this brief introduction. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time. If you haven't liked, you know what to do. Otherwise, God bless you. Thank you.